I'm always a fan of life lessons. Now, I believe that everything's a journey, so you never truly arrive. You arrive at a stage, and then once you get to the next stage, then you grow once again and you outgrow the stage, and then you move higher up or move further on, whichever way you decide to move. So I'll say this, the one thing, not the one thing, but one of the things that this pandemic has given me is courage. I didn't expect it to have, but it has. And it's given me the courage to stand by my values. It's given me the courage to stand by my identity, not just to stand by it in a hidden way, but stand by it in a public and professional way. And it's given me the courage to I'll take that back. It's given me the courage to dare to and want to help others feel the same way about themselves, but also to be able to be in an environment where they can do that. And you know, we all know the pandemic's been horrific, and I'm probably late to the journey a little bit because I was on maternity leave last year, so I didn't necessarily appreciate the full degree to which it was difficult to work with children at home and all these possibilities and all these issues. But what I will say is this: the pandemic has definitely brought a change in not a change in my values, but it has strengthened my values, and it strengthened the need for me to live those out in every single forum of my life. And that also has meant that, and I believe this to the bottom of my heart, is that what you put out there is what you actually get back. And I have been lucky to say that within this past year, you know, I have met some of the most wonderful people that I could have ever come across, and I'm looking forward to meeting even more wonderful people. But it's that commonality. It's that we all do different things. We all look at the world slightly differently, but it's that commonality of wanting to leave the world a better place we found it. It's that commonality of saying, well, I'm not going to just stand by my values in one aspect of my life, but actually I'm going to commit to showing my values in every which way. How I work, who I work for, whether it's for myself, whether it's for a company, who I spend my time with, how I approach things, how I even spend my money. All of those things, and everybody that I'm coming into contact with has those same values. And you know, and I'm thankful for it, I'm happy for it, and I hope that it continues. And it for me just reflects the shift, I think, in a lot of us as a society at large. We no longer want to we don't want things to stay the way they were. We want to kind of come together, and we want to say, well, hey, I don't just want to see a solution. I don't just want to see the change. I want to be a part of it. I want to be, in that case, you know, on the front lines of making change, not just, and helping others to be able to implement those changes, not just, okay, I'm going to do this at some point in a few years' time, but just jumping and jumping now, plunging into the pool or plunging into the sea now and swimming. So it's just to really say, like, I hope everybody, I know it's difficult, I know we're all fed up, and it's not to say I'm not fed up, and we want things to change, and we want life to go back to some sort of normality, and I'm 100% with everybody. I really, really do. But it's also just to say that despite all of this craziness, this difficulty, I hope you've also been able to find your silver lining on some level. And this is not to say that there's always the possibility to find the silver lining, but I hope that it's coming for you, and I hope that you can see it somewhere along the lines. And it might not be about starting your own business. It might be none of those things, because ultimately our silver lining and coming into contact with other people, you know, it's different for everybody. But I hope that you know, everyone's still managing to somehow stay strong and somehow managing to hold on, because I feel, and I hope everyone else feels the same, I feel as though the light in terms of not being locked down and not being cooped up anymore, the light is hopefully at the end of the tunnel. Because one of the other things I'll also say is, this time I have learnt so much. I've learnt so much from so many other people about what's going on in the planet, you know, what kind of effect this crisis, this pandemic is having on so many people's lives, and to the extreme. It's the reason why I've got involved with Jocko Unlimited, because there's so much we don't see, and there's so much that there are so many, what's the word, tragic, heartbreaking situations that are coming out of the pandemic, that I will say, I know I'm blessed, but it's also learning about this and not turning a blind eye means trying to get involved when I can. And when I say when I can, I should say where I can, not when, where I can. You know, and it's an opportunity to learn really what's going on, because I think the global feeling, and looking at things not just through the lens of someone who sits in Europe, but also seeing what's going on in the world at large. There's scary parts, of course, scary, tragic, heartbreaking parts, but there's also a lot of innovation, exciting parts, so many people who want to make the world a better place. So that's just really been my learning experience during the pandemic. I would love to hear what yours is. What have been your takeaways? What have been your positives? What have been your negatives? And how do you feel looking to the future? I feel positive. And I feel as though we can really make some positive changes, and I'm just hoping that everyone else feels the same way too. And please let me know. And if you don't, that's not a problem either, because this is how we're, like, everyone's feelings are 100% valid. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. So please drop me a note in the comments below. Have a good day.